Okay, so today I've got a third interview on the channel on the My Anime podcast, Your Anime History. I've had Yonko Productions and Wilberg in the past. It's been 2 years since I've done an interview podcasting, and we've got Clyde here today.
Thank you for having me on, man. I really appreciate it. This was something that we had in the works for quite a bit. A lot of delays, but with a lot of the recent podcasts I've done, regardless of channel size, like if someone asked me to do it, I will. If I've forgotten about any out there, sorry, don't shoot me for saying that. But
yeah, he's honest about it. Yeah, it's cool. Another down under boy in Australia. We're going to talk about how you got into anime and manga and otaku and weeb stuff in a sense in video games. What was your first thing really that really inspired you to talk about anime way back in the day?
Way back in the day, I guess they're kind of separate, aren't they? It's like how they get into anime, and then what made me want to talk about it. You know, which one would you want to know first? Then,
but what was your first memories of just consuming, anime or manga or video games?
I'd probably say some of the older stuff to do with anime would be back in like 2001 through 2003. 2001 maybe you're stretching it a bit, but it's got to be somewhere around that time period. Like in Australia we had Cheese TV, so that was what I grew up with as a kid, was watching Cheese TV. That had stuff like, I remember some of like the earliest memories of watching anime and as a kid knowing like, oh, this is not like cartoons, this is different, knowing that as a kid it was a bit more edgy, was Yu-Gi-Oh, Digimon. I wasn't like the biggest fan of Pokemon, but I did watch it as a kid too. Dragon Ball Z, 100%. I even owned the Tarzos, like back in the day. From the
Tarzos, I've got those too.
From the packets of chips. I still have them somewhere, I'm fairly sure, but that was pretty much like the start. Was, as I said, things like Yu-Gi-Oh and Digimon and Dragon Ball Z was definitely it.
Yeah, I've got those Tarzos and like the Pokemon cards and the Beyblades because I think I was the same era, like 2001 really started, and then from all the way to 2004 with Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
Pretty much those years as a kid,
I still remember in primary school around that time period, like 2004, when the Egyptian god cards were first showed on TV, and like kids getting like the fake ones for the local markets and stuff and bringing them to school, or like the Sunday markets, you go and buy them. People would be selling like burnt DVDs.
Yeah.
They'd be selling like fake Yu-Gi-Oh cards from China, like. And then like it was as a kid, like all that stuff was so interesting. And then like for people who don't know, overseas that are going to listen to this, because most of my audience is American. The way like we sort of got into anime when we were younger, and this this goes for most Australians, it's definitely like you wake up in the mornings and instead of having like Toonami or Cartoon Network a lot of the time, like to get Cartoon Network, you had to have pay TV, like cable. But with anime normally it was like you would wake up at 6 through like 8:30 a.m. and there would be Cheese TV on in the mornings before school, and then you would watch like Sailor Moon. So like Sailor Moon's another one too, I forgot to say. Zoids, I watched that as a kid.
Yeah.
Super old show. And then Dragon Ball Z and all that. That's how we were sort of introduced to anime, and then in school too, like everybody, was fans of anime as kids, like whether it was like I remember when the Pokemon games were coming out, like, Diamond and Pearl, Emerald, all those games, like it's crazy to think how long ago that was too.
Diamond and Pearl at school was like 2007, I think.
Yeah. I think I had 1,000 hours on Pearl. That was one I earned. Played a lot of that.
Wow. I remember also for Yu-Gi-Oh cards, I used to obviously buy the real cards, but when I was 7, 8 years old, I didn't know the difference between real and fakes at the time. So I've got a ton of fakes also. I was just oblivious to it, kind of selling the black markets and those markets in a sense.
Yeah. When I moved to my recent apartment, I actually when I was going through all my stuff, so I was trying to like be really, really clean with everything and be like, all right, everything I actually don't need, I'm just going to throw away before I move to this one. So I was going through even my Yu-Gi-Oh cards, which I don't like actively look at all the time, but I went through them and I literally sorted out every single card that was there that was a fake and removed them. And there was so fucking many cards from when I was a kid that were fake. And these weren't like cards that like I intentionally or my family intentionally tried to like get for me. These were cards that like, you just like stumbled upon, whether you traded cards at school, you were like given them by somebody. Like they just made their way around. Like I did also have a lot of legitimate cards too, but they were so expensive too as a kid. So like I remember that being something that was hard to get. You know, it was like, oh, you know, you'd like ask your parent or like a family member, like, you know, could we get some of those booster pack things? And like they cost an arm and a leg. So
yeah, they're still so expensive.
Yeah, they are.
That's exactly
nowadays I could get them, but you know, not back then.
Yeah. I've got a full box of fakes still. It's just hilarious. I don't know.
Yeah, I had like a whole tub of them. It was like literally like a whole plastic box filled with the fucking things. Like it was ridiculous.
And what was next after around 2005, 2007?
Yeah. So I guess I'd keep going with that, and I'll answer the other thing about how I like wanted to, you know, like what made me want to talk about it. Well, anyway, so around like 2006 to like maybe like 2009, I remember watching Naruto for the first time on this TV show called Toasted TV, which came out after Cheese TV stopped airing. And a lot of people, you know, they remember Cheese TV as like the golden days and stuff, which is true because it did have a lot of the OG shows. But the start of Toasted TV was good too, because the start of Toasted TV also had things like it had normal Yu-Gi-Oh! It had Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, it had Naruto, and it had One Piece. And it had some of the Pokemon series, but some of the later ones. Now, the first time I ever watched Naruto was on there, and like you and I were just watching before, we were watching the Australian and German only opening songs, and like they're so nostalgic to me, like how you know, how specific they are, because a lot of people when they hear it, they're like, what the fuck is this trash? Like it sounds so stupid compared to the normal English or Japanese one. But to me it's nostalgic, and that's how I got into Naruto. I was a massive fan of Naruto when I was younger. I still remember watching like the episodes with Zabuza and Kakashi doing the water dragon jutsu, and like we're at school trying to like pretend to do it. We have no fucking clue how to do the hand signs, like, and it was such a good time. I watched like the Chunin exams. I watching Sasuke, you know, doing his fire style, like, you know, all that stuff. So.
That stuff was it was amazing. You showed me those videos before, and because I watched Naruto first on Cartoon Network, I didn't watch it on Toasted TV. I just stumbled across it on Cartoon Network. I'm like, this is amazing. I didn't even see those openings until now, so that was really cool. You showed me them earlier. But
yeah, showed you something fresh, yeah.
Oh, man, all my pocket money, I just getting those Naruto DVDs, like the 13 episodes DVDs that cost like $20 each. And I just have so many like fond memories of like the Zabuza and tuning exam stuff, like when I was a teenager, like 2007. And I just remember like specific stuff, like going on a holiday, for example, and like I bring my like Naruto DVDs in one of those. I don't know if you had one of those DVD players, like those portable DVD players, like they're kind of like a Nintendo Switch, that would just like like a Nintendo DS. You'd fold it open, then watch it in the car. I watched it so much, then like back and forth for the next 7-8 years until it finished.
That was like that time period too. I'm imagining like how you would have done it, because it's like just before. So like obviously the internet was around, but the accessibility to shit on the internet back then was like you would have to pirate things to get access to TV shows and stuff like that. So trying to like go out of your way to legitimately find a good way to watch things like Naruto from start to finish was like, it was pretty much non-existent. Like if you had the DVDs for Yu-Gi-Oh, the DVDs for Dragon Ball Z and things like that, you were fine. But like that cost a lot of money back then. And then to try and watch them like from start to finish was, again, like just, it wasn't even a thing. Like it was just such a hard thing to acquire. I can still remember vaguely, you would try to like look up, you know, where to watch anime episodes back in those days. Yeah. And the websites like
2003 for DBZ or like Naruto 2007.
I mean, bro, back then, like with the internet, if you're on the internet in like 2003 through like just 2006, like bro, have fun finding anime episodes. Yeah. It just wouldn't even be a thing, you know. And then
because they had a lot of fan subs for DBZ in the late 90s, early 2000s. And how
but think about how hard that would be to get. Like the internet speeds were shit. Like the websites were filled with viruses. Like oh my god. But like when you would get to like those like you get to like those years of like 2007 through 10 and so on, and then it was like slowly more accessible. I remember I actually got back into Naruto because I stayed with a family member and they had pay TV, and I'm watching Shippuden, and I'm like, I've no fucking clue what's going on. Like I'm just watching it, but I'm like, you know, it seems really cool. I then go back home and I look up, you know, Naruto, like where to watch, and the other thing that was available was Crunchyroll, which was in 2011. So I'm watching Shippuden from the start of Shippuden, and I just like, I have a vague idea. I'm like, I know who Naruto is. I have like some of an understanding of the series at this point, like just from what I watched as a kid. But I watched all of Shippuden, then go back and watch all of part 1 from start to finish, because I'd seen some of part 1. But it always got taken off air when you would get up to the episode when Jiraiya was introduced. Like, that's when it would stop, and you wouldn't be able to see anything after that. I think
Channel TV.
Yeah, I think Channel 10 only had the license up until like the Jiraiya's like introduction,
and
that's
it. 48 around there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Man, that's like growing up as like a DBZ fan late 90s when it all just stops. What is this Super Saiyan or whatever? Like after Goku finishes fighting,
yeah.
I think Captain Ginyu or whatever it is.
Yeah,
so
and
it sounds like exactly like that in a way.
Yeah, it was like I seen like the gates, I seen the Chunin exams, I seen some cool stuff, but it was obviously like, okay, the story's going to get pretty like wild right now, and like things were going to start progressing in it like a pretty serious way, and then it just it went off TV, so it was a shame. But I ended up getting to watch it when I was older, so that was fine.
I kind of like back saying about the pirating, because I remember I found a site called like watchnarutoonline.com in like 2008.
Yeah.
It was pretty good streaming for back then. And I used all the internet just watching from, I think, because I remember on Cartoon Network, the tuning exams right at the end of it before it finished around the time, like end of the tuning exam. So I watched all the Sasuke retrieval arc online, and then I was watching the filler because I didn't know after the part 1 canon content finished that all the other content was filler, and I was just skipping it because I absolutely hated most of it. So it was
I was the same way. Like that would have been golden to find those websites back in them days too. Like watching it all from the start to finish. Like I was kind of like that, I guess, which like. It really makes me realize how fast time's going. When I look at like the date on my computer and it says like 2021, like one more year, bro. And it's a decade since I was sitting there on Bleach watching Bleach and Naruto episodes on Naruto Get like every week when they would come out. And it's like that perspective wise, it doesn't feel like 10 years has gone by. Like the difference between 2012 and 2022, it doesn't feel that crazy really. Like I don't think like a crazy amount's happened. Like a lot has happened, but it doesn't feel like that big of a difference, especially with being on the internet since then. But yeah, like you said, like watching like all that would have been so cool to watch from online and watch the episodes you had no other way to get. I know what you mean though with the filler stuff. So when I was watching Bleach, I didn't know what fucking filler was either, and I get to the Mount arc, and I'm just like, bro, this is so boring. Like this, it went from the Soul Society arc to this shit, and I'm flicking through the episodes trying to skip it. Like, what is this shit? Like, and then I eventually got past it, and I'm like, oh, it's gotten better again. So I was so happy when it got back to the canon episodes.
So you were watching Bleach soon after Naruto?
Oh yeah, I watched Bleach for the first time in 2012. In September of 2012. Well, I was still in high school, so it was a pretty cool time period to like watch it. And so the way I found Bleach was like pretty much like I'd be watching Naruto on the Crunchyroll app, and it would show like Ichigo transforming into his Vasto Lorde form like in the advert before every episode. So back in the day, you could watch every episode for free on Crunchyroll, but you'd have to watch the ad before the episode starts. So I'd watch the ad and I'd be like, what the fuck is this Bleach shit? Like, I've never even heard of this thing before. Like, it just looks like some edgy show from Japan. I'm just assuming at the time, I'm like, oh, it's just probably some series I've legit never heard of that only airs in Japan. And I'd never seen it on TV either. Like, it never aired on Toaster TV or Cheese TV. So I ended up giving it a try, and straight away, I'm like, this is cool as fuck. I just loved how edgy it was straight away. The whole dark animation. I was also watching it on Bleach Get. So, like, the fucking quality of the episodes was, like, a little bit shit. Like, it was like 360p, and it was a little like crackly. So it like made the animation
back in 480.
I don't know. I just never tried on Crunchyroll. I think it's because I had accessibility to the dub, and I wanted to watch Bleach in dub at the time because I was like not used to watching subtitles just yet. So I watched it in dub.
That was the same with me. Like I finished all of what Naruto got up to in the dub, and then I just stopped because I just wasn't used to sub back when I was like 12 at the time. But eventually, like when you have nothing else to watch, no new content, then you just start watching the sub.
Yeah, that's how I was with Naruto with Shippuden on the Crunchyroll app. I just forced myself. I'm like, I'm gonna watch it. Like, I don't even care. I'll just watch it. So I did. And I just it actually, I'll tell you what too. Like, this might sound corny, but like, I didn't really give a shit about school when I was younger whatsoever. I had a pretty bad like home environment, so I did not have the ability nor the care to like actually try in school. It just didn't interest me. I was like, I'm not gonna work my ass off at school to then come home and then deal with like some pretty bad stuff. So when I'm reading and watching the subtitles on Naruto, like, bro, I was legit teaching myself how to read fast as fuck while I'm like reading Naruto. Like I could read obviously, but like I had to get used to it, and eventually it was just fine. Like I just didn't mind. I was like, this is cool. And then like fast forward like 2 years later, I'm watching Naruto as it's coming out every week. Like, and what I would do is I would go to I'd go to the supermarket after high school, and I would get like an energy drink, or I'd get like a bag of salt and vinegar chips, and I'd come back home and I'd wait for the episode on the Thursday night when it would air, and I'd be watching like. Bro, I still remember going absolutely crazy the night that the episode aired of fucking Madara's appearance, bro. Like, that was fucking crazy when that actually appeared, and you get to see him fight the Shinobi Alliance. I watched it like 6 times that night, that episode.
Were you reading the manga?
No. I didn't want to spoil myself at the time, so I was enjoying. I knew what would happen because I would see YouTubers like videos in my feed being like, "Oh, this is happening in the war," but I still didn't like
the
really
chapter
know.
reviews.
Yeah.
Back in the day, Jesus. When did you start? So you said before you were making content on YouTube about Call of Duty.
Yep.
When did you transition to making content about Naruto and Bleach?
Yeah, so I was a really big Call of Duty fan from 2009 to 2000, and I want to say the last COD that I liked. A lot of people really like Black Ops 2. I didn't like Black Ops 2 that much, to be completely honest. I didn't like the zombies, and I didn't like the hit detection on the multiplayer. It was just absolute shit. But I basically around that time period after Black Ops 2, and then I think the COD that came out after Black Ops 2 is when I sort of like drifted away. But I did make content on Call of Duty for a long time until 2014, and then I made an anime channel. But my initial inspiration for YouTube was actually, there was a YouTuber called Optic Predator who I used to like, and I watched his montage videos on COD, and he inspired me a lot because I seen he had like, I know it sounds corny, but he had like a mini bar fridge in his room, and I was like, that's so cool. I want to have that sort of stuff going and all that. So that was really, I thought that was really cool. And then
so what kind of COD content were you making? Just like Let's Plays?
It was not Let's Plays. It was montages. Like, are you familiar with Call of Duty at all? Like,
I played mainly. I played from World at War to about Modern Warfare 3, and I've actually been playing Warzone again lately with mates.
World at War was my actual first COD I ever owned. That was
that was mine as well.
That was a great game. Such a great game. Yeah. Modern Warfare 2 was my favorite online experience, but World at War was my like just favorite COD overall. But it was mostly montages. Like on Modern Warfare 2, like there was a meta where people would play the game legit just to snipe. Like that was all. They would quick scope, trick shotting, things like that. Like it was a game inside of a game. Like it was really a cool experience to have, and I played that. Like that game, its longevity, it lasted till like 2014, that game did, and it was still popping, which was cool. But anyway, 2014, I was like, for the most part, doing commentary type videos. I would just talk about random shit, just upload fucking, just mostly commentary videos. I just got sick of it. I was just bored playing Call of Duty, bored of, doing the same stuff. So, and at the time I was more into anime, so I literally just like pursued the anime stuff and, turn that into what it is now. I started off with like weekly sort of like review type shit, which was just repetitive, and like I didn't like doing it. Then I just like funny anime type videos. A lot of them are deleted. Some of them like have jokes in them, which like you wouldn't be able to make these days. People are just too fucking soft. But with that being said, then like 2015, 16, and then 17 was where like I just started making the more seriously edited content and scripted and so on. And then now here we are. That's pretty much what happened. I just switched because I got sick of making COD videos. Yeah,
I think the first time I heard your name, I can't remember what year it was, but I saw a video of Double Four that you had.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember much about that?
To be honest, like I probably made some videos making fun of him and talking shit about him, but like I legit barely remember a lot of that stuff from them days. Like
it seems ages ago now, that shit.
Yeah, it really does.
Well, I didn't get into the anime community till like 2014. So I started watching, because I just watched Naruto online, my own thing, but then I just found there's so many other anime to watch, and they got really into it and started watching like Sawyer Seven Mage.
Yeah, I watched him.
And then other YouTubers.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched
One Piece, yeah.
I watched Sawyer back in the day. Who else? I mean, Double Four Anime was with him. Pretty much any of the big ones you can think of back in the days. King of Lightning. It's like his content back in the day. Don't watch him anymore, but he's always been an entertaining guy.
Yeah, I don't watch much of his content anymore, but he's just funny, you know.
Yeah.
And he knows what he's talking about most of the time.
Yep.
So any video games mainly that have inspired you over the years, or?
It's hard to say inspire, but I did grow up with a lot of like specific video games that have like, I guess, led to a lot of my tastes and so on. I grew up a lot with the Tekken franchise when I was younger. Those were games I really fucking loved. The first game I ever had on PlayStation 2 was Tekken 4. So that was a very nostalgic game. The GTA series is a series I really, really do like.
Because I've seen over the years a couple of your videos about GTA. Mm-hmm. So you've played most of the games, even like GTA 3.
Yeah, all of them. All of them except Chinatown Wars, just because I had no interest in it. But GTA 4 was a very big game when I was younger. Yeah. That was something I played a lot of, and I have a lot of good memories with. It's also got a great story too. I'd love to play it from start to finish on the stream.
Yeah, be awesome if they did a remake of it.
Yeah, I love a remaster because the game still holds up, but it's graphically it's got some shit that definitely needs improvements.
Yeah,
but some of the physics in the game is better than 5. Like I reckon the car physics are better. I reckon the
not the turning.
Yeah, the one thing I'd change is the understeering and the acceleration. It's so stupid how like when you put the foot down on cars in GTA, they do this thing where they just rev the fuck out, but they don't spin the wheels. Like, it's just dumb. So, like, you put the foot down, you go around a corner, and it'll just go around it. Like, it's like, dude, like, I should be able to drift. You know, like, just turn the acceleration up. Like, it just fix everything.
Yeah, definitely.
So that was always frustrating. But good memories of that game. You know, GTA, Tekken, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro. So many games. Battlefield, the Call of Duty games. What else? Even Ratchet and Clank. I loved Ratchet and Clank as a kid. Those were good games.
But mainly for the YouTube side, it's only been GTA really at the moment.
It's all I've talked about. Content. I uploaded a video on Resident Evil 3. It didn't perform as well because the video was wasn't that well made. I sort of like shut it out in like a day or so. But yeah, Resident Evil is also a series I do like too. But that was something I sort of got into a little bit later. Like I played Resident Evil 5, but that was it. But then recently I'd gotten into all the more like the older games and some of the new ones. Played Resident Evil 2, which was really fucking good. The remake, like I played that on stream. Played Resident Evil 3, played Resident Evil 4 for the first time from start to finish. That game is great regardless of time. Like I never grew up with Resident Evil 4. But when I played it on stream, it was still like a fresh experience to me, and even with the old mechanics, like it was still such a good game. So that game holds up really well. That's a game a lot of people refer to as like one of the OG great games of all time, and I do believe it is. So
Resident Evil 4 was PS3.
No, Resident Evil 4 was PS2 actually. It was
PS2.
like back in the day.
Yeah,
I think it was the first time they had like the camera that actually moved around, and wasn't like because in Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3, they had those cameras where it was like you had one view of a hallway, and it would like when you enter into a different room, it would change the angle.
Yeah, interesting. So, I've only played the start of Resident Evil 5 on Xbox 360, and I've still got the game. I should go and play it again one day.
I'd suggest play 4. Play 4. Like try 4 because 5 is one that's really fun to play with a friend. So if you ever do co-op with it, like. That'll be a fun experience, but try 4 and try the remake for 2. Like, it's a fucking great game. The physics is nice in 2.
Sick. And so you upload content, and then I see like you're very analytical in your uploads, so you won't upload all the time. But do you feel like if you put a video on private, you just don't think it's like not as good to like the standard that you want?
If it doesn't perform well, if it doesn't perform well, or it's like, I also don't even private them. I just delete them. I just like it. Just it makes my OCD go crazy. So it like really annoys me. I just want to go on. So you'll know too. Like if a video is not something I care too much about. If like for one, there's a sponsor on it. 2, it's like got no editing, or it's a random collab. Like the Boruto video as an example. So a lot of the stuff that was said in it is stuff that I do think, but the quality of the video. I got someone else to edit it because I didn't care about working on it at all whatsoever. Like I was like, this is just not like a good video. It's not scripted. It's not like a solo one. So Yeah, it's just that's
more
it.
A podcast kind of discussion.
It was. It really was just like something to get good ad revenue while also talking about a topic that like we actually had planned to talk about, but it wasn't the most well made video. But yeah, like those big Bleach videos I make though, those things take a very long time to put together, and they actually are worth it at the end. Like this, as long as touch wood that I don't die for whatever reason. Like there's going to be so many that I'm going to make as the anime returns and so on, because there's one thing I can at least know is that no one makes the content better than I do. So that will be something I'll have plenty of coming in the future.
Yeah. So you don't even think it's worth just keeping a video up just for ad revenue?
I probably should. I probably should, but the way sponsors work, I'll tell you something interesting. The way sponsors work is they give you rates based on how well your last videos have performed. So if you have a video up there that's got 50K views, they'll be like, okay, we can pay you $500. But if a video has like 300,000 views or 500,000 views, you could charge them like $5,000, like for an advert. So it's like, like I do YouTube full time. Plus I also like work with Seth, and I do streaming stuff too. So like it is my job. So I've got to be very cautious of these sort of things, and like line my chips up and sort of be like, well, like I can't just upload shit like random like spam content or content I'm not happy with, because maybe I could upload like every single week and just have videos up that get 50K views and I'd make a lot of ad revenue. But at the same time, like I don't want to do that because I'll just burn myself out. So
you have to leverage it pretty much.
You got to enjoy it too. Like I still, if I can make a video once every 2 months or once every month, and like I'm actually enjoying the process and it's a legitimately good video, I'd rather do that than just shit out content because I have to.
Yeah. I think it also depends like how your channel is structured. So yours is obviously very analytical. And obviously, like, you're not uploading every day like other anime YouTubers or a couple of times a week. So there's more of a need to, like, make really good, like, analytical content with clips and such. For example. And that's probably where I should, like, go towards my channel. But, like, if Hunter x Hunter ever comes back again, like, I'll still do live reactions and chapter reviews because it's just fun. Like, So with that, have you thought of opening a second channel, talk about just uploads about whatever you want, just really easy content to make?
Not necessarily.
So I know you made like a gaming channel, I know, on Twitter, like for clips, for example. So
not necessarily for that sort of stuff. Like the gaming stuff would be pretty cool, because I'll actually upload like good gaming content that's edited. Like I do have a video ready. I'm just going to upload that after my next couple main channel videos, and I'm going to shout out the gaming channel to get 1,000 subs, etc. But my priorities is just upload really good content to the main channel, grow the Twitch so I have a secondary income so it's more sustainable, and that's mostly it.
So the gaming channel would be kind of similar to the main YouTube channel.
Yeah, it'll have actual good content. Yeah, the video I edited is a Red Dead one that me and my friends did, which is pretty fucking funny, to be honest. But it's like I actually did edit the video and I put work into it. Like it won't be just like random let's plays or whatever. I might upload some stream highlights to that channel that are gaming related every now and then. Like I don't know, Clyde plays all of Devil May Cry from start to finish. Something like that might be worth uploading. But for the most part, it's just grow the Twitch. Grow the main channel, do a podcast with Seth, which will be uploaded to the main channel like once a month or once every second week, so that I have like content in between my big videos, which would be good. And what else? I had another plan.
Did you think about uploading the gaming content onto the main channel?
No way.
It's just too different for Bleach. And
no fucking way. That content would not grow. That would harm the channel.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I wouldn't risk that, to be honest. It'd just be bad. Have a second channel for it. I also named the second channel a different name so it can grow on its own. Like, so it's not necessarily just attached to me, because I don't want to limit the audience. I'd like it to pop off of its own merit.
Definitely. Interesting. So that's it, really. I guess that's all the questions I have. Interesting little chat.
Yeah, I mean, if you have anything else you want to ask, go ahead. Like, I really don't care. Like, it could be anything you want.
I mean, so you've mainly been making content about Bleach and Naruto since 2014, or
14.
Different chapter reviews, but you got pretty serious into making the more analytical content with the editing and the clips around 2016.
Yeah, definitely around there was when I started to edit a bit more seriously and make the videos much better. But yeah, since 2014 would be the time.
Yeah. Have there been any other anime manga that you don't talk about on the YouTube channel that you're very interested in?
Yeah, Gantz. Yeah, Gantz, I would say. Gantz is something I really like. I have done
the anime or the manga?
Oh, the manga. Yeah, the manga.
Yeah, okay.
No, the anime, not a fan. And then with CGI, I could just, not interested, get away. If they did a Gantz anime from start to finish from a good studio, that would do very well.
And Berserk, you said, as well.
Yeah, I made Berserk content, and I actually do plan to make more. I'm considering watching it all from start to finish again, and then reading some bits and pieces. But there's some videos I really like to make. The Berserk audience is very loyal, so every time I've made a Berserk video, it's always gotten good views.
Yeah. Have you've read the manga?
Yeah, I have. I just haven't read it in a long time.
Yeah. I'm buying the volumes at the moment, and I've just been reading them again. Very good.
No, it's fantastic. So the art's so nice too.
Yeah.
You ever tried Gantz 4? Because that's got really nice art too, and it's the same.
I need to read it. Yeah, I need to read it. I've heard about it for ages, just haven't gotten around to it.
Chapter 1 will get you hooked straight away. It's fucking great.
Yeah. I mean, just the end of Berserk as well. Did you read the last chapter?
No, I haven't yet. I'm gonna take my time with it because when I get into making the next Berserk video, I'd like to do something nice towards Miura.
Yeah, it's such a poetic ending, but just such a cliffhanger as well. So it's very interesting. It's good ending though. I liked it.
I'm happy that it ended. I'm happy that it's ended and it's not going to go on with a fan service type assistant version, because I think that would be worse than that'd be worse.
Yeah. Well, he left a manuscript apparently, and we don't know what essentially could happen. Nothing probably could come of it, but it could be a few chapters the assistants make eventually. But
yeah, it's just if you were to have a legitimate ending to Berserk, there is so much that needs to be covered.
Yeah.
You've got to tie up the Moonchild thing. You've got to tie up the, all the Casca stuff, 100%, the Berserker armor. You've then got to realize Guts is going to fight not just apostles, but he has to get rid of the God Hand, and the Berserker armor alone is not enough to be able to defeat these things. They're so overpowered. And then are you going to fix the world? Is Falconia actually going to be a good thing for the people if it's a city people can live in? It's just, it's a very, very complicated situation.
I think the series, Miura had the intentions to finish it in the Fantasia arc, because the series focuses a lot on after the whole eclipse about vengeance and revenge. But then when he finds everyone, he realizes he kind of has a family in a way. And that's the thing. Do you end it with him just chilling with his new squad? Because that still doesn't mean anything gets resolved. And then the other thing is Miura. I think all he has to do is get Casca back. That's the main thing. I feel.
Yeah, but it doesn't. There's no justice because we've watched him suffer way too much. There's nothing there. He there was a statement from the author. There was a statement from the author where he said something he wants to give Guts a happy ending because the series has been way too negative the whole time. And if you don't have Griffith get his comeuppance, then it's nah, this, it's like an orgasm that never happens. It's bro, we've got to have the Griffith cum shot. I've got to have him get fucking defeated, bro.
You got to have him Guts fucking him.
he's got to be all up in his guts. Yeah. Good wording.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if it ended just Guts quitting revenge and vengeance, I wouldn't care. I think that'd be a fine ending, to be honest.
No. Only because you're reading it weekly, so you're kind of taking things as things are coming. But if you were to watch and read it continuously, and then you're wait, what the fuck? Where's the fucking, what's happened with Griffith? Why he just gets away with it? He has his little fucking kingdom and dances around like a fairy. That's not cool.
Definitely.
No, he needs his head cut off.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it is what it is, though. I'm just that is a future plan, though. I'll get around to some Berserk content, but that's what I was gonna say. Last thing I'll say is that a plan I have too is when Bleach returns is every single time an episode comes out, I'm gonna live react to it on my stream. So that's something I'm very much looking forward to. By the way, it's just Twitch/Clyde CLYDE, so keep that in mind.
We know any guesses how many episodes the anime will be?
Oh, dude, it could be 100 and something plus episodes. It's a lot of content to cover. They're also going to make the fights longer, and then it'll be popular naturally. So the novels and a lot of other content, plus the new Hal arc that's getting written, will no doubt be covered in the anime too. It's being done, to my knowledge, by Period, and Period loves filler. So I'm not saying they're going to put filler in the war arc, but what they love is that they just love making more anime episodes. So they will make
extending it.
Yeah, they'll make a shit ton when the fucking anime's concluded with the war. Like there'll still be more. There'll be movies too, no doubt. So a lot of shit for each.
I hope there's not much filler. Like they just do a really condensed series.
Yeah. I don't think
hasn't been adapted.
I don't think there'll be actual filler. I just think that they'll make sure that they get to adapt as much as possible and like make the episodes longer, which will be fine. Yeah. I don't mind if like I'm watching, like Renji versus Masty Masculine and we have an extra episode of fighting. Like I'm so down for that.
Yeah, I think that's fine as long as it's just not the One Piece, the 3-4 minute recaps. If it's that,
I'm done. That definitely won't happen. Like One Piece's main issue is the manga's still going. Bleach's manga's done, so we're good in that regard. But that was bad pacing.
Without spoilers. Yeah. What chapter roughly is the anime up to when it stopped?
When it stopped after the Fullbring arc. So I think it's like chapter 482 is when the war should start. Like that's when the arc should start.
Okay. So there's still like at least 150 chapters left.
Oh hell yeah, there's a lot. There's like 200. Bleach
200.
Bleach 482. Let me check right now. Surely I'm right on this. Or is it 7-9? Let's see. No, 7-8.
Do you think 7-8?
Around there. It's around there. I'm looking right now. Yeah, the Fullbring arc ends at around here. So you look at it like from chapter 478 to like over 600 and something. That's where. Yeah. So a lot of content.
Yeah, because it finished like 690 around there.
I think it was. I always get it mixed up. I could check right now. I have it open on PC. Hello, Viz department. Load. Yeah, the last chapter was 686. So there is going to be 200 chapters of content, and then fights will make it longer.
Man, I'm excited to catch up. I've been slowly, so just read a couple of chapters when I'm having breakfast and dinner, etc. But what do you think? Like, if this popped up, which it probably will, if like Shueisha were okay with Kubo doing the ending again, adding more content. Do you think there's any chance of something like that?
Yeah, there is. There actually is. He's working on the anime. He actually said recently that he will be doing the character designs himself, like the actual designs, like with his own hand, which is cool. Yeah. And he's going to be like just assisting, which would be nice.
Yeah.
Like he'll
be like extending the manga content in the anime at the end.
Without a doubt. Yeah. Like I do believe like once we get to those final battles with Gerard Valkyrie and Lily Barrow is that those fights will end a little bit differently, and I think that Yuha's defeat will be it'll be done so much better. Like there's no fucking way the anime won't do some like special end of series type making the end better, because they've got to like just think about the hype, like how hype people would be if they do something cool. So
what do you think? Because like I never got into. I watched the anime in 2016, and like I obviously I know from reading it that Bleach dropped off in popularity from 2012 to 2016, and then Jump just scrapped it. What do you think were the main reasons for that?
It's funny because it turns out a lot of that shit wasn't even true. A lot of it was fan-made theories. Kubo was sick and he didn't want to keep going with Bleach, so he wanted to wrap it up, which is part of the reason why it feels rushed at the end. Fair enough.
In 2016.
In 2016, yeah. But at the anime, though, we have actual statements from the directors at Period that said that it wasn't cancelled. What happened is that they wanted more ideas for filler episodes to make a gap for the war. And basically, they went to the author and they were just like, do you have any like stuff we could use? Could you like give us some ideas for an arc? And he was like, I don't really have anything to come up with. I'm not sure what you could do for a bit of a filler arc. So they literally put it on break. And then as it went on break, time just went by and it was sort of forgotten for a bit. Then there was a lot of demand online, like, hey, bring the anime back. What's going on? Like, like, so then there you go. Like, it just came back. Like, they just knew it was a wanted product and it eventually got announced. Way too long, though. Way too long. It actually annoys me how long it's taken, but like, I don't want to watch it when I'm an old man. I want to watch it now, like in my youth, and enjoy it,
Yeah, definitely. So do you reckon there's any chance, like, obviously you said that Kubo's going to be working on the anime, but do you reckon there's any chance like he'll just do some new manga chapters like for the ending, kind of like a Bleach 1.5?
Oh no, they'll just do it in the anime. Yeah. He's working on this new Hell arc. There was a new Bleach chapter recently that came out, and it was like post time. He'll work on that, but yeah, he'll work on that, but he'll help out the studio with like making extensions and changes for the anime, which will be so good.
That'll be cool. So new manga content, if there's any, like with the one shot, will be like post content after the Bleach manga finish.
So the anime will probably end in like 2025, 2024. So you've got like a lot of episodes that'll come out, but then by that time there will be chapters of the Hell arc done, so they can just turn that into anime, you know?
Yeah.
And then
the Hell arc is, when does that take place?
That takes place when Ichigo's like 10 years older, when he's like in his late 20s.
Oh, okay. That's cool. So and Kubo's writing it.
Yeah, dude, Kubo drew it and wrote it himself. Yeah. Like it's pretty cool. Like there's some stuff in it that I'm like, it looks, you know, some corny stuff, but like his idea looks cool. He's also introduced some new characters that look kind of interesting, like a new lieutenant type character, some like, you know, they're obviously going to be companions for Ichigo's son. I'm not a big fan of like the spin-off, like, you know, parts to do with the kids and all that. Like, I'm not too interested in that. But because Kubo's probably going to handle this more like Dragon Ball Z, where the focus is still around Ichigo, I think that it should be fine.
Cool. I'm excited for it.
Me too, actually. It's gonna be fucking great. More Bleach content.
Yeah. Awesome. I think that's all the questions I had for you.
All right, nice. We can wrap it up. It was a good interview. I'm glad we got it though. Like, it was on my bucket list. I'm like, I'm going to make sure I get this done. I had another interview I did with somebody else too, which I'd promised him even before you. So I done that with someone called Poxel. Before that, I did it with RTL Faith. Now I've done yours, and I'm going to make sure if there's anyone else, you know, YouTube wise that asks me to do interviews, I'll do it and I'll get it off. You know, I'll make sure it's done.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thanks for coming on, and I will be getting around to making more Hunter analytical content shortly. I got a couple of videos planned, and like the video, share the video, comment on the video, and subscribe to the channel, because it just helps out the algorithm. You know what I mean? It just gets you back in the YouTube good books with the YouTube gods.
Absolutely. Yeah. If any of my subscribers have watched this far through the podcast type interview, do me a favor and subscribe to the boy. Give him a sub. You know, give the video a thumbs up. Just if you've watched it this far, it actually helps out a lot too. But please give the video a like, subscribe to him. You know, support his channel. I do appreciate coming on here. It's actually been really fun to come on and do this interview, and again to get it done, because we talked about this for such a long time. But this has been great. I appreciate you having me on your channel.
No, thank you. It's been fun. Thanks, mate.